Hey guys, it's Chris the Batman Statue Collector. Welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles, and I'm standing in my near empty former Batcave. This is a place that we've been together for a very, very long time, and I actually thought it would be fun today, at least today on the video, to kind of go back down memory lane of the process of the Bat Bunker, what it was like from kind of inspiration to thinking about it to going from Bat Bunker 2.0 to 2.5 to 3.0. You guys have been along the journey with me, and so I thought it would be fun to kind of look back at the progress from when it was a storage room all the way to where it is right now. And I just want to take a second here at the top to truly thank each and every one of you for being kind of invested in it with me, that have helped support me along the way to make this dream a reality. It is really something when you walk in the room and you're like, whoa, think how far we've come from all that crap, all the boxes, all the stuff that was in that room, an old storage room, an old workshop, into now an art gallery featuring collectibles from some of the greatest statue companies on planet Earth. It's just very awesome. Okay, and so I thought it would be, again, just fun to kind of walk down memory lane. This is my commentary as we go with all the visuals. So bear with me. I hope you enjoy it. And again, thank you guys so very much for being here on the journey with me. All right, guys, so here we go. And this is footage of kind of the original time when I was thinking about possibly moving into the Bat Bunker. And this is a storage room. You can see it's a concrete room. It's under our garage. And this is actually when it was really clean. This was when it was really clean. You should have seen it at other times. Like, it was just crap everywhere. Boxes and just stuff. It was not organized. But it's always been a great place to store my boxes. And, you know, it was a free spot that didn't take up a lot of room. You can see that the original owner had a workshop down there. It was double doors, so you could also, you know, have a riding lawnmower in and out as well. But the actual, workshop was really nice. Had a lot of cabinets and things like that. And I actually, you know, when I was considering moving in here, I actually considered moving, you know, taking off the doors and putting a premium format in there, using some of these shelves, just kind of utilizing the space that's already there. And I thought, well, you know, that might work. Also, it had not great lighting. It had workshop lighting, as you can see, fluorescent tubes. It was okay. Again, the concrete was what it was. I actually, had considered doing an epoxy floor, but I was really worried about the echo because I know that that's an issue sometimes. But I knew I was going to have to do some things with lighting and all that stuff. So the first step really was just getting a U-Haul and moving all the boxes out. This was even before I decided that it was going to be the bunker. You know, I wasn't quite sure yet, but I had the opportunity to put it in the storage unit. That's a family storage unit out of town. So that does stink because I've got to drive, quite a ways just to get my boxes. But anyway, I cleaned them all out, and this is what was left. So you can see that, there's still stuff. There's still, stuff, but I had taken down all the cabinets. We did that over Thanksgiving. Some of the family was here, and so we just ripped it down. We just started ripping it down. You can see the leftovers kind of on the ground of all the cabinets and stuff. So we had to do a special dump pickup to get that out of here. But that was step number one, really. Well, I guess getting the boxes out was step number one. This was step number two of getting all the cabinetry down and really kind of starting to see, what I had to work with, with the space. Because again, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, shelving wise or built-in wise and all that stuff. But as you can see, I had a ton of mess to clean out, to move. We had to move it to storage. Had some XM boxes there. You can see the old orange, all the old cabinets and stuff. Somebody actually came and picked those up. They wanted it for their workshop. And so we were able to kind of, recycle those, which was really cool. But you can just see again that you can start to see kind of the bare bones of kind of like what I had to work with again. I knew that there was some studs under there, which I thought was great because I knew I was going to have to, have somebody come in and do the stud work. And we ended up with Derek, who you met on the channel. And we'll see him here in a bit. They also had these cabinets or these shelves that were already built in, kind of. They were actually they weren't even screwed into the wall. But, great for storage. And I thought, well, maybe I could utilize those. So that was kind of my plan at first. Then also my plan was to do some sort of built-in in the front and then do garage shelves on the side. I really liked the idea because I could do varying heights. These were from Costco, which they still have if you're interested. And the great thing about those was it doesn't have the holes in the front. It's more decorative, which I used to have to hide with decorative wood fronts, basically faux fronts, which is what I've had for years in the Bat Bunker or the Bat Cave. But that was my plan. I was going to do garage shelving on the sides, custom on the front, that far wall. Here you can see more stuff cleared out. Here you can see I bought a whole bunch of garage shelves over there. So they were all ready to go. I ended up changing my mind, which was great. I was able to return all those. So if you ever buy stuff from Sam's, they have a great return policy. But again, this is just kind of me thinking of what could be the possibility of this room. You can also see that I took down those storage shelves in the back. There's also a little indention right there. So I was hoping I could kind of utilize that. I ended up, we ended up going just studding that completely across. So I did lose a little bit of that space. If I had to do it over again, I might have left that a little bit deeper, just so I could, utilize the space if I needed something a little bit, that has a little bit more depth. But anyway, there's all the wood that I took out of that. Which was some of it we were able to reuse for different things, so that was good. So recycle when you can. So yeah. Also around this time, a lot of collectors reached out to me and said, "Hey Chris, I can kind of design something. I can give you guys kind of an idea of what the space could look like." And here you can see that the garage shelves are on the side of different heights. Again, I really liked that idea to be able to do different busts or third scales and things like that. Also kind of tried to do some things with the middle, and they tried to do some decorative things as well. You can see that big wood plank in the front, the TV in the front. I did actually end up doing outlets back there just in case I wanted to put TVs back there. But at the end of the day, I knew that I was going to be sacrificing space, and that's actually where the Bat Bike is right now. So I'm really, really happy with that. I most likely will put a TV on the other back wall as you come into the Bat Bunker. But again, I just thank the collectors so very much that did these renders. I know Matthew was one of them. Just I can't thank you guys enough for trying to help me visualize kind of what I wanted to do. I'm still struggling with the middle, and I'm probably going to do a live. A Bat Bunker live again to kind of talk about the middle, because that'll be phase 2 or 3. Phase 2 will probably also be to put some sort of DIY split, which is like a air conditioner thing that goes in there. Has its own unit, so I might do something like that just to get some more airflow in there. It does get a little bit warmer in the summer. It gets really cold in the winter. There is not heating and cooling in that space, but I leave the door open so it does have some airflow from the rest of the house. But again, just different ideas. Some were really spot on. Some were stuff I necessarily wouldn't want to do. But really, a lot of what we're seeing here is kind of what I ended up with, other than some stuff in the middle. But you get kind of the idea. Obviously, it just was really, really helpful visually. Somebody also did, I believe the same person did renders for whenever I was going to go into that 3-window room. And I was thinking about, knocking down walls. Thank God I didn't do that. But, it was still around this time that I just wasn't sure, for sure where the space I wanted to go in was. But especially once I got those boxes out of there, you could really start to see the space. You could really start to visualize, kind of what I wanted to do with the actual Bat Bunker itself. The hard part though was, a lot of people wanted me to leave the concrete walls, and I wanted to leave the concrete walls. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the look of it. But, as a living space, as some place that I'm going to spend time, it would have been cold. It would not have had any insulation. And so, yes, it sucks that I had to lose that, but it is what it is, right? So, I mean, again, it looks like the Bat Bunker right there, and that's why I call it that. But, once I started putting wood up, it's no longer the Bat Bunker, I guess. You could still call it that. But anyway, got the wood delivered. At this point, I'd hired Derek, and we had ordered the wood. And obviously, this was going to go all the way around, which is great, to start doing the framing. And here we go. So this was the first video that I had everything up. So again, I came home. I was out of town. Derek had started. He was actually able to use all the existing framing that was behind that wall that they'd used for the workshop. So that was great, and it already had a little bit of electricity also. So at that point, I had hired the electrician to come in and put in some of the lighting, putting in some of the just the infrastructure, the lights for what I wanted to do up top. I had already hired them and kind of told them what I was thinking for the can lights, the LEDs, and things like that. And but anyway, you can really once this happened, like this was it. This was the moment when I walked in the room right here. This was the moment where I'm like, okay, this is really happening. Like this is real. This is gonna look like a real room. It's not gonna just be some storage space. And then about a week later or so, sorry for the extreme close up there, he started putting the shelves in. And that again, that really started solidifying. And he double reinforced it. It was really great. He actually stood on all these. I stood on these just to make sure it's going to support weight, no problem, and it is strong as can be. And once he started bringing that out, I'm like, holy moly, this is happening. And this is kind of where we were going to be done. And when we saw this shelf and we saw how cool it looked, I know my wife looked at me and she's like, you cannot do garage shelving. It's just not going to look good. We need to do custom shelving on the side. And of course I'm like, okay, fine, that'll be great. But I also knew it was going to be more money. It was going to take longer. But, at the end of the day, I'm glad we did it. It was worth it to be able to have the side displays be consistent and match the rest of the room, which was, again, really, really cool to me. I really like that a lot. So anyway, I was really pleased at this point with the way it was going. And then at this point, the electricians took out the lights. So that was the next step. They took out all the lights. There you can see them on the ground, and all the piping and things like that, the metal pipes. Conduit, is that what it is? I'm not sure. But anyway, that was, again, great. The only problem was it left us with no light in there. So it did slow us down a little bit. Derek would come over in the morning, afternoon, so we'd still have a little bit of daylight coming through those doors. But yeah, we basically had 1 or 2 work lights, and that was it. You can see that he was still, kind of working on some of the dry, the stud work there. And here's Derek right here. Again, I want to give him a big thank you for the project. Again, I know at times he was frustrated, just like I was, with the how long it was taking, and there was some trial and error for sure. He started getting the wood up on the walls because he was going to do the ceiling. There was some things that he was learning as he went also. And so, again, that added to the frustration on both of our parts at times. But, again, it was all worth it. All the ups and downs, it was all worth it. And there you can see those side pieces of wood, where you could see where it was kind of the first where you can kind of visualize the side shelves. At this point, he also started putting all the insulation in. I was really, really hoping it would help with the echo, and it does. But there is still a little bit of echo that I'm working on, and so I'm thinking about doing some sort of area rug or something in there, just to try to help with the echo a little bit. Thank God I didn't do the epoxy, because I just think it would have been horrible, guys. I ended up putting the laminate in, and I'm really happy with the way that looks. But oh my God, the epoxy would have been killer in that space. But again, he's got all of the woodwork done on the ceiling, except the very end where the electrician needed to put the wiring in. But again, you could see all of the insulation. So whenever we put that in, it immediately helped with the echo compared to the way it was. Then boom, drywall comes in. That's the next step. Now this was, God, I wish I had talked to Derek because it was a giant mess. There was drywall dust everywhere. Dust got all over the house. Got all over all of my artwork downstairs. So I just didn't know. I didn't know what it would be like. I wish that if anything, we had just put some sort of drop cloth down, because once he started mudding, it got really, really messy. But again, here he started putting it up on the ceiling. So again, you start feeling that it's like it's really starting to become a room at this point. Obviously, again, he had some work where the wires were exposed. But I mean, look at that. You can really start to see it come through. And again, you have all of the electricity outlets, kind of spaced out. And again, that piece of wood are going across those 2x4s. You can really see that was where, those shelves are going to go in. You can, again, really start to visualize it all coming together. Obviously, again, he hasn't started taping or mudding at this point, but that was all coming here really, really soon, which I think you're going to see here in the next clip. But again, the drywall up, great sign, obviously. And then as we transition to here, you're going to start seeing where he did start to tape. He did start to do some mudding. So that was again a big step to be able to have some of that started. Again, it is very time consuming. It's very messy, but inexpensive at times. Just to buy all the supplies. Basically, Derek would say, let me have your card. I'm going to go to the store and buy supplies. And so that was great. I did trust him with all of that, and he went and got all the stuff that he needed to do the job. And I'm thankful, because I didn't know what all went into this. I've learned now. I think a lot of this I could probably do on my own, just having watched Derek and what he's done. So don't ever be afraid to do this on your own, or at least try some of this on your own. Thank God Derek did all the heavy lifting with this project, but I'm proud that we did some of it ourselves. Look at the floor. This is what I was talking about. I wish more than anything we had put something down on the floor to protect it, because we ended up having to scrape it. It was just a giant mess. Again, dust everywhere. So that was the annoying part. He also textured the walls. We did that because the rest of the house is textured, and I know that's some of you, that was blasphemy. Depending on what part of the world you live in, you just don't care for it. It's very subtle. I'm zoomed in here really close, but in real life you can't see it that well. But it does add a little bit of. I felt it was kind of like Batcave-y, to add a little texture. So because I had eliminated the bat bunker part of it, and so I thought, well, a little bit of texture would be great. And there were areas where that's smooth, obviously the interior as you walk in, and that was another thing I haven't really talked about on this video. Was originally that just walked into our storage room off to the side, and I really wanted like a grand entrance. I really wanted something to separate the room out, and that's why I have the secret entrance, which again a lot of you have figured out is a bookshelf at this point, and I haven't shown that yet. I'm going to wait till the big reveal to show what that's like. But again, and here you could start seeing the framing on the shelves. Now you can see those little nubs, those little notches at the bottom. Originally we were going to go a little bit higher. I really wanted it 4 inches off the ground, so it wasn't sitting on the ground. However, when we started looking at it, if you look at the background, the piece on the ground was lower than that. So I made the decision. I said, Derek, can we just get rid of those and just have them the 2 inches off the ground, because they're 2x4, so it's 2 inches off the ground. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it is okay. It is what it is. And again, he took that off. Now you can see that he double reinforced this. I really wanted to make sure, we talked about how much vertical pieces of wood should we do to make sure it's held well. It's also drilled into the wall. Again, we stood on these things. They're not going anywhere. I have no doubt in my mind that this, will hold up forever. Around this time, boom, look at this. We got lights. This made a giant difference to be able to work, just having some lights to work. It also really gave me an idea. Again, it was just one more step that I'd been waiting for. And these are Philips Hue bulbs. They can change color. They can do all different sort of things. I'm primarily going to leave it just white, but I'm really glad that I got these. I think that they're absolutely fantastic. Look at that floor. Oh, just as that. It's just such a mess. It is like there's just white footprints everywhere in our house from the dust. But anyway, so glad to get those lights in. And then we started doing color. I started painting kind of just some sections just to try to get some color swatches to try to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. That dark is what I ended up trying. Way too dark, which you're going to see here soon. But just going through that process of putting some paint on the wall and trying to figure out exactly what you want is helpful. Don't just go in blind. Go get you some samples. You can go to Lowe's or wherever you shop, Home Depot, Menards, and just get a little $3 or $4 thing of paint, little samples, and put some paint on the wall. We ended up going with something called Mindful Gray. We also did obviously white in the backgrounds. You can see the giant glob of paint in my hair. That was a long day. I painted, I think, for 9 or 10 hours. It was a brutal day, but it was worth it. And this is kind of where we got. So we started out with kind of this gray, and it was not quite, it was kind of a bluish color. I didn't love it. We spent a lot of time painting it, obviously. but it was not right. You can kind of see another color. We had tested a few different. You can see that kind of that bluish color there on the edge. It's like, ugh, this is just not what I want. So then we went dark, and oh my God, it was way too dark. It looks good on camera, but in real life, it just didn't. It wasn't what I wanted because I wanted some difference with the tops because I wanted to do a black top. And it was just way, way, way too dark. And, again, it was a lot of work because we had to go back and repaint everything 2 or 3 times and then do multiple coats on top of that. And so it is what it is. But it was annoying at the time to just try to get the color right. But anyway, around that time, I went to Sam's Club, bought this premium laminate, which is the same brand that we had used in our upstairs, and really love it. It's really great to clean. We have dogs, so it's it's one of those things where it's just easy to clean. Again, at this time, I was getting the paint samples. I was trying to figure out, because again, that was just not the right color. I didn't love it. And so I tried some different things out just to kind of see which one. And we ended up going with peppercorn, which is that third one right there. Peppercorn is, again, a Sherwin-Williams color. Love it. It just turned out really, really nice. And it was just a dark enough gray to have a nice separation between that and the white, or excuse me, that and the dark black. Then I needed to do the floor, and I was so glad to get to this step because I was so tired of the dust everywhere. I couldn't stand it anymore. So we just went ahead and did that. We probably should have waited till we were done with other steps, but I just couldn't wait anymore. I was tired of waiting. And so, I just wanted to keep moving forward, even though that might have been at the detriment to some of the other activities. But anyway, my wife and I, we did the laminate. I would cut, she would place, and so it worked out really great. We did that again upstairs, and again, just having the confidence to do it yourself. Don't be afraid to mess up. I messed up plenty of times, but again, you get pretty good at it after a while. And again, there's peace of mind knowing that you helped, that you did part of it. We did some tile work there. My wife doesn't love the way it turned out. I think it's fine. We have sometimes water, rush in a little bit underneath the door because we have really strong winds here in Kansas. And so we thought that was necessary, and I'm glad we did it. And then we're getting to the point now where we're getting the laminate in. I'm sorry, not the laminate, the MDF. So Derek got the MDF in, and he put them in, and he screwed a bunch of screw holes, and then he had to put wood filler and sand it down, and so that was all done. And so that was great. Again, that was just one more step. You could just tell how close we were. You can also see I taped down the floor to protect the floors from paint or whatever else. Again, that got real dusty, but it is what it is. But just, again, having those in place, it was just one more step. We were so close here at this point. You could just taste it. You could feel it. There was notches and things going in, scratched everything up. So again, we had to repaint everything, which sucked. But again, at the end of the day, it's all worth it. It's all worth it knowing that the end product is going to be what you want. And again, Derek just worked his tail off. I want to thank him for appearing on camera. It was a lot of fun just to kind of talk to him and let you guys get to know him as well throughout the process. He's talking right now about how he was going to kind of bevel it and how he was going to do the wood filler and smooth it all out. So that was neat. So yeah, that was just awesome. Then, of course, this is magic, right? These are the LEDs. I love the way these turned out. It's so cool, what all the different things you can do with it. There are times where I kind of wish I had just done traditional bulbs, up in the drywall, just because it's just easier. You don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi and different things. So, again, there are times I wish I had just done white and called it good. But just being able to have something in the background of my videos, maybe when I'm talking or different things, it's really cool. And so if you're interested, it is the Govee brand. It's the Pro. So yeah, RBGIC, I think is what it is. These were the 32.8 feet. You can get them in different lengths, but I'm just so happy with the way those turned out. It's really fun. Then we had to do some trim work, obviously. I did a lot of this. Derek did some of it. We did all of the baseboards, and that was, again, trial and error. We learned about coping and how to do the edges. So it was just cool, right? And then boom, here we go. This was, the moment that I had been waiting for, the high glossy black. We did Rust-Oleum. For good or bad. Yes, it's going to show dust. I get it. Yes, it could get scratched. I get it. But I really wanted something high gloss. I wanted something, and maybe I could have done something different, but this is what I did. And so for good or bad, this is what I did. You can also see we put trim work along the sides of those cabinets, just to kind of, cover the edging where the tape would come up. So that I think that was a really good idea that we did. Again, that was me working on the trim. But look at this, guys. This is pretty much the final product here, which is very, very cool. Hanging up a little bit of art, getting the bunker ready for showtime, and again, the coolest moment for me was walking in right here with the very first statue going in, the Joker statue, and the rest is history. So there it is, guys. Again, a walk down memory lane. I still can't believe all the progress we made. Yes, it took a little while, but I want to thank Derek. Derek did a phenomenal job. Again, taking something that was a vision of ours, and making it a reality. Thank you to everybody that did like the graphics and stuff, the room planning, just the advice that you offered me over the last year. It's really made a difference, and I don't think I could have done it without you guys. So again, thank you so very much for your continued support here on the channel. Thank you to my family for putting up with me and the mess that I've made of the house. But again, we're finally settling down. This room right here, as some of you have asked, this room right here is going to become a craft room. My wife does vinyl cutting, and so she'll have her space to do that in here. We'll also have like our home computer and stuff. I'll show it to you when it's all done, just so you guys can see the transformation. But again, I just can't thank you guys enough for being on this journey with me, and it's been a lot of fun, for sure, without a doubt. And thanks for just watching the videos in general. I know a lot of people have told me, hey Chris, these videos are my favorite videos that you do, which is awesome. I wish you liked the reviews as much as the how-to construction videos. But anyway, thank you guys so very much for being here, and I really appreciate it. Again, thanks to everybody that did the super chats and the super thanks to help the project just become a reality. And again, just thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Lots more to come. We're just getting started, baby. So we'll see you soon. Not in this Batcave, but hopefully the next one. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.